Good morning. Welcome to week 4 of State of the Studio. It's kind of hard to believe that we're already here at 4 weeks of kind of this quarantine lockdown situation. And this was a really productive week for me, I think. I worked on a wide variety of things that are kind of in preparation for this body of work that I'm building. The thing that I spent the most time on in terms of painting was working on this portrait of my daughter. So I spent a good part of a day laying out the next phase of this painting. There is a whole other layer there where I'm really fleshing out tone more. I wanted to get more depth to it and kind of play around with colors. I'm going to be using a lot of bright yellows and cool blues to play off of the light. And I kind of stopped at this phase and really wondered what it is that I want to do from here, how I want this painting to proceed, and what kind of style I want to have. And so to date, all of the portraits that I've really played around with have had a lot of blending, a lot of smoothed out tones, a lot of transitions, and I'm not entirely convinced that that's what direction I want to take. So I wanted to pause on this painting and take a minute to try to develop my style a little bit further. So for that, I'll bring out my sketchbook and show you guys what I've been working on. I've kind of started a daily portrait sketch project where I'm just kind of working on getting my proportions better and developing some sense of human anatomy. But I also did this page right here, which is something where I'm really trying to get my style sorted out. So what I did was I took a look at a bunch of artists that I follow that I love their work, and I tried to pick out different things in their work that I'm really loving and that I might want to incorporate into my own work. The number one thing that I came across is I'm really liking texture in a portrait, and you can't see that from any of this. They're kind of low resolution anyway, but I know kind of what it is that I'm looking at here, and I'm seeing a lot of like mark making, brush strokes. So I made out a list of all of these different things that I would like to see incorporated into my work. So some of those things include visible brushwork and abstraction of shapes, unexpected colors in the skin tone, so like greens and purples, things that you're not really expecting, but they still convey a sense of realism. So it's a really fine line where you're introducing colors that are not natural to skin tone, or maybe they're amped up a little bit more than usual, but you're still portraying a really strong sense of realism. So that's something I really wanted to play with. And the other thing that I really love in everybody else's work is when they are leaving the brush strokes, when they have, especially I like to see a lot of these chisel blenders, whenever you can see that clear line of where that brush went down. And so it's a very decisive way of painting, and to date I really am much more of a blender, and I'm trying to get away from that a little bit. So the plan is to continue with all of the sketching, and I'm going to be working on these with gouache paint in my sketchbook to loosen up a bit more. And I think maybe I'll do a couple of those exercises a day before I start working on a painting, so that I can have a little bit of that mindset and framework. I've been doing different types of drawing every day. Craft paper with white charcoal and pencil, graphite pencil. So I've got that one. I'm trying to fill the sketchbook up so that I have a really strong sense of anatomy, and so that I have some basis for different things. So that's what I'm doing in there. I've also been working on my iPad. This whole week I've been working on this. This is not complete. It's just kind of in a rougher phase where, again, it's the same thing, different medium. And I find with the iPad, I'm a lot more apt to make those marks and leave brush strokes, because it's just a different way of working. So I've been trying to get out of my comfort zone a little bit with the blending and do a lot of that. So that's kind of where I'm at with the portrait work. The plan is to every single day I need to start with some sketching. And I've also found a couple of apps online that are really neat because they'll let you use a model and they'll let you move the model around, move the light source so that you can get, since we don't have the opportunity to do figure drawing sessions at this point. So I'm going to play around with those a little bit and continue to work on some of these things. And I think this coming week I will probably spend a little bit more time with my flags, just kind of to take a break from the portrait and figure work that I've been doing. And I also started a really fun, this is just the background at this point, I just really love this color, and I'm gonna do some branches with flowers, again abstracted, where it's a lot of mark making, a lot of leaving ambiguous shapes and abstraction, and this is again an exercise in loosening up. So that's kind of a look at where we're at this week and what I've been focusing on. And as always, if you have any questions or you want to see what's happening behind the scenes, just reach out to me on social media or in an email and let me know if there's any questions you have. And I'll see you guys again next week. Thanks.